everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever been dreaming about a trip to Thailand, this is the video for you. We're going to talk about our time that we went to Bangkok and Ao Nang beach. We spent 2 weeks in Bangkok and 1 week in Ao Nang, and we're going to tell you a little bit about both of them because they're both very different, so you can decide which one's right for you.
Hi, welcome to Twists and Travels. We're Larry and Pam, a couple on a new adventure. After my life-changing scoliosis surgery, I can finally walk better and live with less pain. Now we're making the most of this new chapter, traveling together and exploring places we've always dreamed of. Join us as we share our journey of recovery, discovery, and all the amazing adventures ahead.
I do have my notes here, so I apologize if you see me cutting over this way and not looking at you all the time, but I don't want to miss a single thing, okay? All right, so we're going to talk about everything from the vibrant streets and cultural landmarks in Bangkok to the beaches, island adventures in Ao Nang. We did it all, but there were two totally different experiences, and I'm excited to break them down for you, so let's go. All right, if you're needing a more affordable way to travel internationally, you're not alone. If you want to keep an eye out for our next video, I'm going to talk about how we afford to travel. As Larry and I are not rich, do not have extra money. I've been disabled for 10 years, and so if you know anything about the U.S. Social Security disability, it doesn't pay much. So we went from being truck drivers and having lots of expendable money to basically one income. So I'm going to tell you in the next video how we afforded this trip, okay? But I'll give you a little hint. We only spent about $1,200 out of pocket, so be ready to watch that one, okay? So first we're going to talk about our Bangkok experiences, okay? It was a huge city. I had never been to a city so big before in my life. There's over 8 million people there, so you can imagine the energy is just nonstop. They have towering landscapes, bustling markets, everything in Bangkok is fast-paced and full of surprises. As exciting as Bangkok, it can also be very overwhelming. If you have any kind of accessibility issues or if you get anxiety, well, I did too. Let me tell you. Our first day there, my anxiety was through the roof. So anyway, I acclimated and did okay, but it was tough. All right, so what did we do in Bangkok? We explored local markets. We spent a lot of time wandering through all kinds of local markets. One of our favorites was the Chatuchak market. That was the first one we went to, and it was so cool. We got foot massages, which really helped with the nerve damage that I have in my feet, which is part of my clumsiness. But it was really nice. But it is a huge weekend market. You can find everything you ever want there. I watched a video before I went so that I would know what to look for, and I'm glad we did because there was some amazing food in that video that we would have never found if I didn't know where to go. So definitely do your research, watch YouTube videos, and see what you want to go find in these markets. There was a lot of narrow aisles to navigate, and if you have mobility challenges with walking, be very careful. It's interesting how inside each walkway had kind of like a little dip here, but you didn't know it was there because they had like indoor-outdoor carpet or something laying over it. You didn't know it was there until it was too late. So you gotta be very careful when you're walking around in those crowded markets, okay guys? Another thing that we did there that was really cool was the Jim Thompson house. That's a hidden gem right in the middle of the city. It's a house that's set with a very peaceful garden. And we learned so much about Jim Thompson's legacy in the silk industry. He's the one who pretty much brought the silk industry to Thailand. It's a very calm spot in an otherwise very busy city. So the tour was really informative. Guys, you definitely need to check it out. It wasn't very expensive. And it was just a beautiful Thailand home built by an American. So you can learn all about him if you want to watch our video on Jim Thompson House, and I'll have the link below so you can see it. Another thing that we did were the malls. We checked out the Icon Siam Mall, and I apologize now if I'm saying these wrong. We also went to the MBK, excuse me. So the Icon Siam is one of the largest malls in Bangkok, and it has over 5 5,000 shops. I'll say that again, 5,000 shops. Did we see them all? No. It is a shopping mecca. They got luxury brands, they got great food, they have great views of the river. You actually ride a riverboat, kind of like a public bus, but it's a boat to get to it, and it was really a lot of fun. They have a great food court there. Got to try out some local foods. The other mall we went to was the MBK Center, and that was the first mall we went to on the first day we got to Bangkok. And you talk about some anxiety. Oh my goodness, I had no idea. When we first got to Bangkok, it was early morning, so we were able to check into our accommodations early, which was nice. So we got checked in, kind of unpacked, got settled in, took a nap, woke up very hungry. Well, I didn't want to sit there scrolling on my phone to figure out where we wanted to go eat. And I remembered, hey, we can go to MBK Center because I remember there's a lot of restaurants there from other videos. Y'all, I was a YouTube nerd watching tons of videos to know what I wanted to do while we were on this trip. So we went there. Didn't know exactly which one we were going to as far as where to eat, but we went to the mall, and it was huge. Nice thing is that the BTS, the train system in Bangkok, drops you off right there at the mall. So that was nice. But then from there, guys, oh my goodness, I had never seen a mall that had that many stories in it. The biggest mall I'd ever seen had 2 stories. This one has, I don't even know how many stories it has. But you need to kind of know what you're going to do when you get there so that you won't be so confused. They have a lot of places to eat, plenty of shopping, and like I said, the BTS station is right attached to the mall. So it's a nice place to go if you're trying to get out to eat. One of the tours that we took was a Chinatown tour. And that was kind of cool because I didn't really know where to go in Chinatown. I'd watched a couple of videos, but still wasn't quite sure. So it was really a must-see, and we did it with a tour, which was really cool because the lady that we did the tour with was actually the 4th or 5th generation from the original, her family was one of the original ones that came over from China and settled there in Chinatown in Bangkok. So it was really cool to kind of get her family perspective on things. There's a lot of street food vendors there. There's market stalls, temples. It was probably one of the biggest highlights of our trip in Bangkok, and you definitely need to do it. Food was just incredible, and if you go, you should try the roasted duck. I usually don't like duck, but it was really good. We also had chicken and rice, and I promised myself that I would not eat I wouldn't eat anywhere that had the chicken hanging in the little window box for so long because I didn't know how long it was been there or what the temperature was or anything. And I didn't notice the chicken was hanging there until after we ate. So I was like, oh no. But it was good. We did all right. And the lady that led the tour, I figured she's not going to lead us wrong, right? Okay, so what did we like about Bangkok? The things that we loved about Bangkok. First of all, the food. Okay, if you like any kind of Thai food or whatever, this is a place for you. It is so cheap there. I mean, I just could not believe how incredibly inexpensive the food was. You got to try the street food, and the variety is just endless. No matter what kind of food you're into, Bangkok has it. Everything from burgers and pizza to Thai food to Vietnamese food, just everything. Chinese food, everything. And don't forget the shopping. Like I said, the malls are huge. You can find anything there from souvenirs, designer items, everything. Icon Siam was another huge highlight for us. It was just beautiful views of the river getting there, and we spent several hours just walking around, soaking in the atmosphere. The MBK Mall was really nice to get out to eat. The first day we went over there was very overwhelming for me, but we did go back another day. Actually, it was the day after our Chinatown tour, and because I needed to get a hard drive, so we went over there, and it was much better that time because I knew what to expect, and so it didn't quite overwhelm me as much. The first time there was just all this traffic down there on the street, and the people was just crazy. It was a Friday night too. Let me put that in. Okay, what did we not like about Bangkok? Okay. It's not without its downsides. One of the biggest challenges for us, I should say for me, was the crowds. The city is packed, especially the touristy areas like Chinatown, Koh San Road, anywhere that you've seen videos of, and so you want to go there. It's crowded. It can feel very overwhelming too, especially like I said, if you have anxiety issues. Be prepared, take deep breaths, take lots of breaks, go back to your accommodation, relax. I had to do that many times. The other issue that I had were the motorcycles. Not only were there a lot of them, but they were parked on the sidewalks, and many of the areas in the sidewalks are so narrow so you couldn't walk on them because they were full of motorcycles, and you had to walk in the street. It was just very hard. The sidewalks are very interesting. You'll go from a nice, wide, great sidewalk down to where it'll get really narrow, and it's just gone. And I fell 2 times while we were in Bangkok, so you gotta watch where you're going. Those sidewalks, they'll have big old holes in them. Anyway, and that brings us to the next thing, the accessibility challenges. Unfortunately, it's not the most accessible city for people with mobility concerns. I mentioned the sidewalks are very uneven, the ramps aren't great. I fell twice. You gotta be careful. I mean, after that, I learned to just hold on to Larry all the time so I couldn't fall down so much. Also, some of the train stations, believe it or not, don't have elevators. I don't know how people who are completely disabled, who are in wheelchairs, can go to some of these stations because some of them don't have elevators. Or what was really strange is they would have an escalator going up, but not one going down. And if you're like me, I have trouble going up or down. I can do it, but it takes me a while. Now I can do it. I couldn't do it before my surgery. So yeah, it was a little challenging. So let's move on to some tips we have for you for Bangkok. Okay, here's my top tips. Number 1, stay near the train station. It'll make your life so much easier. Okay, I thought we were near, it said 10 minutes walking. Well, 10 minutes walking is where the sidewalk is pretty much crap, so it was a very dangerous 10-minute walk. I didn't mind the 10-minute walk if it had good sidewalks. So yeah, we did end up taking a little grab scooter a lot of times when we got back, just because, one, I wasn't going to walk in the dark in the street, so I knew I'd get hit. But I couldn't see really where I was going, and so yeah, make sure that you're staying in an accommodation where the BTS station is like there. There's a lot of hotels where the BTS station is actually attached to it, so try to do that if you can. It's a great way to get around. It's cheap, it's easy. They run like clockwork, so do that. Also, be prepared to pay cash in a lot of places. I had asked some other people who travel all the time if I needed very much cash. They're like, oh no, you can use your credit card anywhere. Well, you can, but a lot of places will charge you to use that credit card. So I'm a penny pincher, so yeah, bring cash. And that brings me to the next thing, that if you are not gonna bring a lot of cash, you're gonna use your debit card, make sure your debit card, the bank is not gonna charge you to use it. I'll get into more into that later, but make sure you have an account with like Fidelity or Charles Schwab or something that refunds you back all those charges, because I tell you what, those ATMs are expensive in Southeast Asia. Make sure you grab your eSIM. You need to have an eSIM or a SIM card, whichever your phone takes on your phone, or at least one of you needs to have it, because you will need Google Maps and Google Translate every day. You got to know where you're going, and let me tell you, if they don't know English, it sure was nice to say what I needed in my phone and just show it to them. And they're like, oh, and then they would talk back into my phone and it would tell me the answer. So you need to have your internet on your phone ready to go. Let's see, when you're crossing the street, this is one that took me probably most of our trip before I finally had the nerve to do it. Okay, so when you go up to the corner and you're ready to cross the street, there's all this traffic. Okay, there's hardly any cross lights like there are in the States for busy streets. You just gotta put your hand out and go. And honestly, say a little prayer and hope for the best. You know, in all seriousness though, the motorcycles, they know, they go around you. As long as you just keep a nice, steady, consistent walk. Don't try to stop. Don't try to make any sudden, movements or anything. Just nice, steady walk, and they'll go all around you. It's crazy. So believe me, it worked. I couldn't believe it. It took me, like I said, though, it took me a long time to relax enough to just do it, put my hand out and go. So yeah, that was Bangkok. Now, after Bangkok, we flew to Krabi, and then we took a shuttle over to Ao Nang Beach. So after all the hustle and bustle of Bangkok, we were ready for a change of pace. We were ready to go to a beach to relax and just, take in some rest, right? Well, Ao Nang is a very touristy area, so even though it was quieter, not quite as crowded, there was a lot more tourists. So it's a small beach town. It's on the southern coast area of Thailand. It's a completely different experience from Bangkok. Completely opposite, okay? If you're looking for more relaxed vibes, beautiful beaches, island tours, Ao Nang is the place to go. And that's spelled A-O-N-A-N-G, okay? I know I've been told that there's a lot more nicer beaches in Thailand. This is one we chose to go to because the flights weren't too expensive. Once again, we went on a budget, so we had to go where the flights weren't going to be too expensive. And guys, we only had so much time. So those were the two places that we chose, Bangkok and Ao Nang. And we originally went to Ao Nang because I wanted to go scuba diving. And then my surgeon from my back told me no, he didn't really want me to do it yet. So I had to wait for a while. Anyway, Ao Nang was a lot less hectic than Bangkok was. It still has a lot of things to do though. You can explore the beaches, Riley Beach. You take a boat over to Riley Beach, which is what we did. It was beautiful. The accessibility was better than Bangkok. There's still some challenges because the so-called ramps for the wheelchairs go up and down were like very steep, but at least they had them, and the sidewalks were nice and wide, and motorcycles were not all over the sidewalk. They're actually on the side of the street where they belong. So that was nice. So what did we do while we were there? Well, we went to Riley Beach, like I mentioned. That was one of the first things that we did. You have to take a little boat ride over there. It's totally worth it. It's not expensive. Just walk down by the beach. You'll see this tourist place, whatever you want to call it, right there across the street from the beach where they're selling tickets. They'll give you your little tickets. You walk across the street, and there's somebody in charge. You tell them, give them your tickets, and they'll have you sit down. When there's enough people to fill up one of those banana boats or whatever, they'll send you down to the beach to hop on. And so, super easy. You definitely want to go. I mean, it was like a postcard the whole way there and back. Go back and watch our video if you didn't see it, because the limestone cliffs and the turquoise water, it was just beautiful. We went to one of the caves there, went to Diamond Cave, and it was really nice. And you can get around in the cave if you can do a few steps, you're okay. Just be very careful because the walk area was not even, I'll just put it that way. So watch the video so you'll know for sure what you're getting into. We did show it quite a bit. While we were in Riley, we had one of the best pizzas, guys. I'm 58 years old, and this was probably the best pizza I've ever had in my life. And I had to go to Thailand to get it. So be sure it was on Walking Street, which is what they call the main street that you walk on. And I have a short on our channel, and I also did a video for Thailand foods as talked about there too. But guys, you got to go try their pizza. It was amazing. Let's see, the other thing that we did there, we did an elephant rescue tour. I definitely, that was one of the things I had to do while I was in Thailand, was go see the elephants. So that one was really cool. We got to learn all about elephant conservation. We got to give them a bath. We got to feed them. Feeding them was really cool. It was kind of the first thing we did. I did a video on that one too, and guys, the guy that gave us our orientation was so funny, so I had to leave part of it on there for you. Told us what to do, what not to do. And so then we got to feed the elephants, we got to give them a bath. We gave them a mud bath first, and then we went down the river and washed all the mud off. And guys, it was a lot of fun. If you do that, know that mud stains. Larry got some on his shirt, and it just ruined his shirt. It just stained it, and we washed it, we tried it, it just didn't come off. Anyway, it was a really unforgettable experience, and everybody's got to go do that. And not to mention, it's good for the rescues to make some money from the tourists to help take care of the elephants. So you do it. And guys, if you need help finding a place to go, here's one big tip. If you can ride the elephant while you're there, it's not where you should go, okay? Because that's actually kind of abusive. So don't ride the elephants. Okay. The last tour that we did there was the 7 Island tour. Okay, we were debating on doing scuba diving, and we decided to go ahead and do this one since my doctor kind of didn't want me to go scuba diving. So we did this. It was a lot of fun, but I will tell you that it was very crowded. There was so many people there. They'll pick you up at your accommodation. They take you down to where the boats, where the beach area is. And there was people there for several different tours that this company was doing. And when you first get there, they check your name off. They tell you where to go to the table to get checked in for your tour. And then you get mixed right back up with the whole group again while they're checking in everybody. So I don't know why they didn't keep you separated, but anyway, they did it. And it was a lot of confusion. Once we got off and going and got on the boat and went, it was a lot of fun. But I would definitely recommend doing a smaller group tour. There wasn't a lot of people in our boat as such, but the tour was several boats, and so there was a lot of people where we went, and it was just super crowded. I wanted to do this tour because it was supposed to last long enough to see the iridescence, the sparklies in the water. We didn't see it, and it wasn't the right conditions to see it, so I'll just have to go back to Thailand again so I can see it next time. So yeah, just know that you may not always get to see it. All right. And the other things that we did there is we just kind of walked around the beach, the town. We went to what was supposed to be the monkey trail. There were no monkeys there, so that kind of was a bummer. But anyway, I didn't see not one monkey the whole 7 or 8 weeks we were in Southeast Asia. Not one. That was sad. Anyway, we spent a lot of time just walking around Ao Nang, enjoying the beach, the food. Oh my goodness, the food. There was always something good to eat there. And we did a lot of videos on food. You probably thought we ate a lot, and we did. One interesting thing there, I gotta give an honorable mention to this place called Prime Burger, okay? I'm all about a good burger, especially if they don't use frozen French fries, okay? In this place, we went there, the first night we were gonna go down and eat at the best Thai food. That was the name of it. But the line was very long. We went and had a burger instead. And if you go to this place, guys, they make it with Australian beef. You gotta order the Paris burger, and they put a truffle mayonnaise on it. I'd never had truffle mayonnaise, and it was so good. And then I discovered that really it's kind of a chain there in Thailand. They had them in Bangkok. I could have been eating more burgers. But no joke though, we were in Ao Nang for a week, and I think we ate there 4 times. But we did go check out that best Thai, Pad Thai, that was it, the best Pad Thai place. And it was really good. So we did go eat there. Let's see, what did we like about Ao Nang? All right, so first of all, we stayed in a beautiful condo. I booked it through Airbnb, did a video on it, so you'll know where to go if you want to stay there. It was a nice little condo, great water pressure in the shower, super clean. We were there for a week, and they were offered to clean 3 times. Every time they clean, they bring 2 glass bottles of water, which was cool. It had a little kitchen area. We didn't cook, but it had a refrigerator, so we would buy some fruit from one of the markets on the way back to the condo at the end of the day, and we would have that for breakfast a lot of times. So they do have a little breakfast there. You have to pay for it, it's separate. But they do have a breakfast. We ate there, I think, once, maybe twice, I'm not sure. Anyway, it was right in the middle of things. I mean, you literally just walk out the condo complex. You have to go kind of up a little hill to get to the street, and there's places to eat everywhere. And to your immediate left, there's actually a little tourist hut, and they do laundry right there as well. So that was our first experience with dropping laundry off, and it was cheap and it was great. They dropped it off one day, picked it up the next, and everything was folded, smelled good, and it was cheap. Can't say that enough. One of the best things that we liked about Thailand were the massages. I might have mentioned the foot massage before. Here we got a Thai massage, which was a little rougher. I had to tell them about my back so they wouldn't move me in any weird ways. They were a little more expensive in Ao Nang though, and I guess that's because there's a lot more tourists, whereas in Bangkok there's almost actually live there. And I'm sure if you got a massage in the touristy area, they probably cost more, but anyway, they were still very affordable. And also, if you have any issues like I do, just tell them and they will totally accommodate you, so they won't do anything that's going to hurt you. Don't worry about that. What did we not like about Ao Nang? All right, so it's a lot quieter and more laid back destination, but it still has its challenges. Traffic can get heavy in certain parts of the town. Where we were staying, it we were a little bit, we're probably about a half, 3/4 mile from the beach. So the closer you got to the beach, the more crowded it got. Traffic was worse. It's not as bad as Bangkok, don't get me wrong, but you gotta be careful. And we went in January. Guys, we flew into Bangkok on January 7th. We were there for 2 weeks, and then we were in Ao Nang. I think it was the 21st, the 28th, something like that. And it was hot. Oh my gosh, it was so hot. The humidity and the heat was awful. Make sure you drink lots and lots of water and wear sunscreen, okay? Because I got real dehydrated one day. The 7-island tour was very crowded, like I mentioned. It made it feel a bit more like a tourist trap. I would opt for a less crowded tour next time. So maybe just going to some out of the norm islands or something, not go where everybody else was going because it was so crowded. As far as accessibility and everything, it was a lot better in Bangkok. I mentioned the sidewalks are bigger. They had accessible ramps, but they're very steep, they're very narrow, but at least they have them. And they still have places where their sidewalks are like bricks, pretty much everywhere we went. And so there were some places where the bricks had come out, and so you still had to watch where you were going, but it was a lot easier than what it was in Bangkok, for sure. Let's see, so there were still areas where the sidewalk was uneven, and where sometimes there was scooters parked on the sidewalk, but not as often as in Bangkok, and definitely not as often as in Vietnam. We'll get to that one later. So, all right, closing thoughts. Well, let's see. So to sum it up, Bangkok is perfect if you're looking for a high-energy city, lots of culture, food, shopping, but it can be a bit overwhelming, okay? Especially if you have mobility issues. So just keep that in mind. Take your time. You can get around. You just gotta plan ahead and be ready, okay? Ao Nang is a lot more relaxed vibe. It's great for beach lovers. The beach itself in Ao Nang was okay. Riley Beach was really nice. And then the islands that we went to, the beaches were really pretty. They did have like the fire show at night at Ao Nang Beach. That was kind of cool. Both of them have their pros and cons, depending on your style of travel. You might prefer one or the other. We love both of them for different reasons. Like I said, I mean, if I had to pick one of them to go back to, it would probably be Bangkok, just because it was such a variety of things you could do there. And it's a good place, a good central location where you can go here or there, base yourself out of Bangkok. So there's a lot to do in Bangkok, and so maybe if I had to pick, I would pick Bangkok. But just be prepared for all the traffic and just be ready. Let's see, if you have any questions or anything, please drop it below. If you're planning to go to Thailand, let me know. Let's see, and I mentioned in the next video, I'm going to share with you the points and miles that we used to go on this trip. And I'll give you a hint, I paid zero for our flights. And we flew business class because there's no way that I could have flown in economy with my back. No way. Didn't sleep much, but I definitely had that option to just lay down because my back would hurt so bad sitting straight up. Because the little hops that we did do around there, anything over about 2 hours and 15 minutes or so, my back would start really hurting. So definitely we flew business class and didn't pay a dime. We even used some of our miles to pay for the taxes, so that can be done. So yeah, just know that. And also hotels, you can get hotels for free. We had a lot of credit from a trip that we had to cancel last year with Airbnb, so I was using that for most of our accommodations. But when we stayed in the hotels, I used points and miles, or my husband has an X card. We get travel credit for that every year. That paid for our airfare for the little hops and one of the hotels. So yeah, be ready. I'm going to share more about that, guys, because I tell you, 2 years ago, I had no clue. I thought I was doing great with my little Citibank card whenever I got 1 point to when I spent the money and another point when I paid it off. I thought, man, I'm really raking it in. No. And so, yeah, be ready because you're going to learn a lot, and, no expert by no means, but I want to teach y'all because traveling opened my eyes. We'll see y'all in the next one, and I am going to do points and miles next. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.